So moving on to strategy and looking at the future and how we manage some of the challenges that we've discussed here, but some wider ones as well. There are so many departments, agencies, authorities involved in it. Who is providing the strategic oversight and leadership to drive forward some of the improvements that are necessary?
Improvements on what? Just the...
So some of the broader issues that we've highlighted in what we touched on today. There's clearly some better workings that are needed. This is a cross issue. Many issues are going from broader aspects of biosecurity. So who is convening and leading on the multi-agency approach?
Well, clearly we have regular meetings with the teams at a ministerial level. It depends what you're talking about. I mean, I meet regularly with the devolved governments, for example, right, because there are issues that face the different devolved governments. We have EFRA, who do an enormous amount of work in this area. We have a really good team who work on borders, and so you have the senior civil servants and the ministers and the devolved governments really all working together on this to make sure that we're making the right kind of decisions, because different decisions have different impacts and have to be led by different sections of the department. I don't know if Gareth wants to put any more.
Well, no, I think that's right. I mean, there have been some changes in the way that government organises itself in this space. So, for example, there was, until relatively recently, a team within the Cabinet Office that gave oversight to all borders issues. Because, of course, you're also talking about HMRC presence at the border as well as Border Force and so on. And I think the reality is that in each case, there are different sort of circumstances that we work through. So we've seen, I think, through the operations in Sevington, for example, there's been a fantastic set of benefits from that being a multi-agency site, and that means everyone can pull together and they can work around computer things when they go wrong and all of that sort of thing. That isn't fully replicated in the way that we make policy, but we do try and join up. Linked to the new border command that's been set up within the Home Office, there is official-led governance that goes alongside that, and we're making sure that biosecurity is fed into that. So I think we would see ourselves as the sort of strategic brain, if you like, for biosecurity. But the reality is, as the Minister said, it's a complex system, both internationally and domestically, that we then have to work with. So what we try and do is make sure we're taking the right evidence to the right meetings at the right time to have that kind of influence.
We also have a One Health approach now as well, which means that I meet regularly with representatives both from Department of Business and Trade, from Health, and other departments as well, because this needs to be worked cross department. It's not just around the work that Defra is carrying out.
Brilliant, thank you. So Helen Buckingham, Chartered Environment Health Practitioner, told us, the committee, that national policymakers have, and I quote, an extreme lack of an understanding about enforcement delivery on the front line. So given that and given that insight, what mechanisms do you have to engage with teams on the front line, and how does this inform your own policy making at the moment?
Well, clearly we work with the people who are on the front line from our own teams, from Defra, but also, as I said, I recently had a meeting with Seema Malhotra, the Minister in the Home Office, who's responsible for Border Force, to discuss how we can work better together, having taken feedback from the people who are working on the front line. And clearly it's important to listen to people and look and see how you can improve things. So I meet regularly with her, and I said others from, say, Department of Business and Trade, to see how we can improve things, because you can always improve situations.
You specifically look at how, when you're having those meetings, is one of the items that you discuss is specifically on improvement and driving collaboration, yes. Improvement? Okay.
Yeah, we have done.
Great. So the Border Force have told us themselves that Defra is responsible for intelligence on meat smuggling. How do you build into the intelligence picture, and what are the limitations as you see them?
Working with Border Force, you mean?
Yeah. Well, more generally about building the intelligence picture for meat smuggling.
Well, we work with Border Force, but there's other intelligence that goes on. One of the main things, I think, people can get very fixated on digital systems, but actually what's really important is people talk to each other and share information, and we encourage that enormously. Clearly, as far as intelligence sharing goes, I can't say everything because it's intelligence. So, but internally within Defra and within the Home Office and other departments, we work very hard to share intelligence together, and also clearly with devolved government and with the EU and further afield, because this is a global issue, as we've already mentioned. I mean, let's just, if you think about the foot and mouth, coming back to that, after the discovery of the case in Germany, Daniel Zeichen, the farming minister, had a meeting with the German minister, and then when we had the further cases in Hungary, I joined him in a meeting with the Hungarian minister and so on. So we do work quite hard to share information and intelligence internationally as well.
Okay, brilliant, thank you.